actually in the screen?
Yep, right in the bullseye middle. And it's recording. I don't like.
Why?
Because you're not smiling or anything.
Well, I'm not ready to shoot yet. Everyone, FG here again. So this is going to be a pretty short video. This is for extended stabilizer links. Some people call them sway bars, which is really actually not technically correct. They're stabilizers, or I guess technically in physics, anti-centrifugal bars, as the vehicle will try to tend during a turn to lean. Anyhow, regardless of whatever terminology you'd like to use, these things can be a bit of a pain at times. If you look at the first photo here, you'll see the original bar end links, which are, I guess, probably relatively okay if you still have a stock ride height. If you've added any kind of lift, you're going to be changing the angles that these are running. Now, depending on the way these had been originally installed by the factory, if they had put the ball joints at a pure 90-degree angle to the way the bar was articulating, it wouldn't have been any big problem. As you can see in the photo here, these are a little weird. They're kind of twisted. So what happens when you raise your vehicle, the end link is too short, and because of that twist, the ball ends up riding all the time at an upward angle. And then when the suspension articulates, they top out. So the shaft coming out of the ball actually smacks into the housing, which then starts to destroy it, and eventually the whole ball assembly becomes very floppy and will make all sorts of noise. Mine, as soon as I hit any kind of a bump, I could drive over a slightly recessed pothole or manhole cover and I'd get a kunk. It got really, really annoying. So one day I just went and removed the stabilizer bar end links, rotated the whole stabilizer bar around, and wire tied it temporarily to the frame so that I could see what was going on and try to track down the noise. Because I was wondering if it could have been possibly from the new struts, coilovers, coilovers, whatever you like to call them, the spring and shock absorber assembly. Anyhow, I was just trying to eliminate the noise. Truck was totally silent over bumps after that. So that told me, pretty easy how to zoom in on what was going on here. So I started looking around for longer end links. Didn't seem to be a whole lot out there. So I ran across these. They're not cheap. They were $163 for the pair. So yeah, those on a budget, might be going, yike. But these are adjustable. These are Whiteline, as you can see in the photo. 65017 is the model. And they have, they're pretty much constructed just like an inner and outer tie rod. They've got opposite threads. You got your center long adjusting nut or bar, whatever you'd like to call it, and then the jam nuts there, both sides. So I just basically set both of these to the same length, which I'd kind of eyeballed by just getting underneath the truck and having a look at where everything looked like it lined up at a fairly level angles. So you can see quite a bit of difference there between the two as far as the settings. So when you flip to the next photo, kind of hard to get a good picture there because everything's in the way, but you can see how the link is sitting now. If you look at the second and third photo, and yeah, the zoom didn't come out really great. It looks like the focus kind of, the autofocus looks like it was going more to the wheel hub and the lower ball joint, so you can see the link's a little bit out of focus. But anyway, it's certainly good enough that you're certainly getting the idea here. So you see basically what's happening here is now the stabilizer bar is sitting basically level the way it used to be, and you see that the ball assembly there on the Whiteline is no longer hyperextended at those bad angles. So all the clunk's gone. So spent a little more money on these than I would have liked, but they did take care of the problem. They're supposed to be extra heavy duty, and I'm going to say I think it was a 3-year warranty, I believe. I have to go back and check that, but anyway, yeah, they do seem to be very well built. As I'd mentioned, the old one, when I took it out, I could actually rattle it around by hand and reproduce that clunking noise without it actually even being on the truck. So that was how bad it was worn out. That like a couple of foot-pounds of force that I can apply from my hand, just working that around, and I could make it clunk. Yeah, so obviously it was totally toast. These you could barely move by hand. So they have a very good stiffness. There's a spring preload on the ball joint inside. Unfortunately, they don't have any grease fittings. That would have been really nice. I'd love to be able to re-grease these, but they did not provide that as an option. So you can see where these are just where I went ahead and installed, and that was pretty much it. So that's the end of the video. Like I said, this is pretty simple, really not very much to talk about. So until next time, FG out.